Hey there, Cinemaster fans! Hope you're ready for some movie magic. Let's dive right in. The movie begins with a boy named Jack, who is staying at his uncle's house during Christmas celebrations. Suddenly, Jack steals a key to one of the rooms in the house from his uncle and opens the room in front of his friends. The room turns out to be filled with many gifts, and Jack tells his friends that Santa Claus isn't real and that all these gifts are brought by parents. At that moment, Jack's friends give him candy, revealing that Jack had made a bet with them to prove that Santa Claus isn't real, and he wins the bet. Jack's uncle then arrives and asks everyone to leave except for Jack. He scolds Jack for telling his friends that Santa doesn't exist, explaining that believing in Santa brings joy and happiness to children. However, Jack remains adamant that Santa Claus is just a myth and doesn't go around delivering gifts to children. His uncle tries to convince him that Santa doesn't give gifts to naughty kids, but Jack doesn't care and sticks to his beliefs. 30 years later, Jack has grown up and is walking down the street. He steals a cup of coffee from a woman and then snatches a newspaper from a passerby. It's revealed that Jack is a con artist and a skilled hacker who works for anyone willing to pay him. Jack is shown executing a specific mission. He stands outside a technology company watching the employees exercising in front of the company's owner. Jack focuses on one of the employees, then throws the newspaper near some electrical wires and spills the coffee on them, causing an electrical short that starts a fire. As everyone is distracted by the fire, Jack takes advantage of the chaos to steal the employee's ID card. He uses it to enter the company, accesses the database, and connects an encryption device to steal the data he needs. After completing his mission successfully, Jack discards the ID card in the trash and walks away proudly. That night, the real Santa Claus is seen at a shopping mall celebrating Christmas with children. He is accompanied by his personal guard, Cal, who disapproves of adults' behavior, as he often sees them stealing items from the mall and arguing with each other. A group of children approaches Santa and offers him candy, which makes Santa happy. As Santa leaves the mall, Cal talks to the other security guards to ensure Santa's safe departure. In the car, Santa tells Cal that he will miss him, revealing that Cal is planning to retire. Santa is then taken to a secret location where his giant reindeer, which pull his sleigh, are kept. Santa boards the sleigh and takes off into the sky, escorted by fighter jets for protection during the flight. Santa thanks the pilots and lets out a loud cheer, prompting the reindeer to fly at high speed, breaking through Earth's atmosphere. Meanwhile, Jack is at home reviewing the data he stole from the company, which contains coordinates to Santa's mythical world. It's clear that Jack isn't interested in keeping the data for himself, as he sends it to the person who hired him for the job. That person transfers the agreed payment to Jack. Back in Santa's world, Santa opens a portal in space and enters his mythical realm, where numerous alien creatures are busy preparing the gifts Santa will distribute during Christmas. Mrs. Claus is personally helping with the preparations. A large bear named Garcia, who is Cal's assistant, is introduced as the one responsible for protecting the mythical world in Cal's absence. Santa is later seen training in his room when Cal enters to submit his resignation. Santa asks Cal why he wants to resign, especially knowing that their mission is to bring joy to children. Cal explains that while he loves children, adults cause him constant frustration. He reveals that the list of naughty people on Earth increases by 22% every year, a significant rate that could soon fill the planet with troublemakers, leaving no one to care about children's happiness. Santa tries to convince Cal that this is even more reason to continue their mission and protect Earth from the troublemakers, but Cal remains firm in his decision, stating that they cannot change human nature. He declares that this year's gift distribution will be his last mission. Santa shakes his hand and tells him that work won't be the same without him. Meanwhile, a group of people is seen walking in a specific area in the Arctic, stopping in front of an invisible wall. They inform their leader that they've found the wall, and she orders them to get to work immediately. The group begins the process of breaching the wall. Inside Santa's world, Cal is reviewing security measures with the other guards when he notices something strange happening. He contacts the security team to check on Santa, only to discover that Santa is missing from his room and nowhere else to be found. Cal rushes to Santa's room and finds the balcony door open. Looking outside, he sees a car, speeding away. Cal alerts the entire security team and begins chasing the car. Despite his best efforts, the car manages to escape. Cal eventually catches up to the car, only to find it empty. At that moment, a plane is seen flying away from Santa's world, and Cal realizes that the car was a diversion to ensure the success of Santa's kidnapping. Cal returns to the control room and contacts a woman named Zoe, who heads an organization that monitors mythical creatures worldwide. Zoe learns from Cal that someone breached the mythical world's wall and kidnapped Santa. She becomes extremely concerned and informs Cal that someone also hacked the transcontinental surveillance system in the Arctic. She identifies the hacker as Jack, a professional who works for anyone willing to pay and is wanted by authorities for numerous crimes. Cal and Zoe decide to team up to capture Jack. The next day, Jack wakes up to a call from his ex-wife, who asks him to pick up their son Dylan from school, as she is busy and her husband is out of town. And she also tells him that Dylan is having problems at school and that he should be there for him during this time. Jack agrees and goes to pick Dylan up from school. On the way, Dylan tells Jack what happened and says that a classmate at school keeps bothering him all the time. So he hacked into the school system and marked his classmate absent 3 times. However, the school administration discovered what Dylan did and punished him. After that, Dylan damaged his classmate's bike. At that moment, Jack advises Dylan that if he hacks any system, he shouldn't leave any evidence behind. Later, Dylan tells Jack that he has a party where he will play the guitar and asks him to attend. But Jack apologizes, saying he's busy and can't make it. Dylan gets out of the car feeling sad, but Jack doesn't care and goes back home. There, he finds a group of soldiers attacking him, aiming to capture him. Jack avoids them and fights back. He is surprised by the devices they have, which, when used, stun and freeze anyone in place. Jack manages to defeat them all, jumps from his house window to the neighboring house, and then escapes to the street. However, Zoe is waiting for him and stuns him with her device, making him unconscious. When Jack wakes up, he finds Zoe in front of him. She tells him they know he hacked the cross-border earthquake system and demands he reveal who assigned him this task. Jack tells her that all conversations between him and any client are encrypted, so he doesn't know the identity of the person who sold him the data. Zoe knows Jack is lying and orders her men to put him in a box. Jack is then transported to the organization's headquarters. There, the soldiers release him from the box. Zoe tells him that they are an organization that protects mythical world and keeps it hidden from real world. Jack mocks her and doesn't believe her words, but he is terrified when he sees a horse breathing fire and another person with a severed head being held captive. 2 soldiers appear, carrying the head of this creature in a box. Zoe then takes Jack to a room to talk to him. She explains to him about the kidnapping of Santa Claus, but Jack doesn't grasp her words. Nevertheless, he tells her that it doesn't concern him. At that moment, Cal enters, very angry with Jack, and calls for Garcia to torture Jack and make him confess the truth. When Jack sees Garcia, he is shocked and terrified. At that moment, Jack learns about a list containing the names of all the naughty children and people, and his name is on that list. This is why Cal and Garcia are upset with him and want to torture him. Garcia grabs Jack tightly, threatening to break his ribs, causing Jack to scream in pain and agree to confess the truth. Cal signals Garcia to release him. Jack then reveals the location of the intermediary between him and the client who assigned him the task. They attach a tracking device to Jack's leg to monitor his location in case he tries to escape. Elsewhere, underground, Santa is found locked in a cell. The girl who kidnapped him stands in front of him. When Santa regains consciousness, the girl tells him that she will accomplish in one day what others couldn't in years. She informs him that she will punish the naughty ones and get rid of them to make the world a better place. She then activates a device that drains Santa's magical powers from his body, causing him to faint. Back to Cal and Jack, they are in a toy store where Cal selects a set of toys. They pass through a magical gate that transports them to another place. There, Cal places a toy car on the ground, uses his device to turn it into a real car, and they both get in, heading towards the intermediary. On their way, Jack asks Cal about the nature of their work. Cal explains that he is the leader of the mythical organization, tasked with protecting Santa from any harm. He reveals that he and everyone with Santa work all year long to ensure Santa delivers gifts to all the children in the world on Christmas Eve. They arrive at the location of the intermediary Jack dealt with, named Ted. However, Ted is surrounded by guards who prevent Cal from approaching him. Cal fights them, using his ability to shrink and enlarge his size, defeating them in seconds. He and Jack then approach Ted. In a secret location, the girl uses Santa's magical powers to create an enchanted glass orb, intending to use it for a specific purpose in her mind. Back to Jack and Cal, they demand Ted reveal the identity of the client who provided him with the data. Ted is shocked to learn that Jack is the hacker he dealt with and tells him he shouldn't have come to this place. He warns them that the matter is dangerous and suggests they leave immediately because the client he knows is evil and could harm them. Cal grabs Ted forcefully, compelling him to reveal the client's name. Ted responds, saying he can't say her name because she will hear them and easily locate them. Cal then asks Ted to write her name in the ashes. Ted complies, but Jack says the name out loud. At that moment, the girl hears her name and pinpoints their location. Suddenly, the sky fills with clouds and Ted begins to change, making strange movements as his eye color changes. He welcomes Cal, and tells him they haven't met in a long time. Here, it is revealed that the girl has possessed Ted's body and is speaking to Cal. Cal is shocked to learn that the person speaking to him is Grilla, the evil Christmas witch. He demands she release Santa, but Grilla refuses, stating that she must finish what she started. She reveals that on Christmas Eve, she will eliminate everyone whose names are on the naughty list. Cal tries to convince her to abandon her plan, but to no avail. Suddenly, a strange-looking truck emerges from the sea, and 3 ice monsters descend from it, attacking Cal, Jack, and Ted. Jack and Ted quickly run away, while Cal fights one of the monsters, managing to split it in half. However, the monster reassembles itself. At that moment, the monster grabs Cal and is about to kill him, but he drops the carrot from the monster's head, and at that moment, the monster disintegrates completely. We go to Jack, who is able to trick the monster and drag him, but because of the explosion, Jack falls into the pool. Another monster comes and tries to break the block of ice in the pool. Jack's leg got stuck in it, and then the monster approaches Jack to kill him, but suddenly, Cal appears and pulls the carrot from the monster's face and destroys it. In another place, a person named Aaron appears and gets into his car and finds a gift inside it. As soon as he opens it, he finds the magic ball that Grilla made. Grilla becomes furious when Aaron disappears, but doesn't return to her secret headquarters, realizing something is wrong. She orders her men to fix the malfunction, warning them that she will test her plan on them if they fail. Meanwhile, Zoe arrives at Cal and Jack's location. When she learns that Grilla is the one who kidnapped Santa, she becomes worried and shows Cal her picture on the camera's recordings, but Cal tells her that this is not her real appearance because Grilla is 900 years old. And at that time, Cal tells Zoe that he must go to Krampus, Santa's brother. This is because Krampus and Grilla are on a relationship with some of the past, and that it is possible that Krampus is a partner in what she is doing, and thus Santa might be present in Krampus's castle. And Zoe does not agree with Cal's words because Krampus, one of Santa's fiercest enemies, could harm him. However, there is no other choice. Cal and Jack pass through the magical gate once again. At that moment, Jack receives a call from his ex-wife, and she asks him why he refuses to attend his son's party. He loves him and needs to be with him on that day. But Jack refuses and claims he is busy and unavailable. Then Jack gets into the car with Cal to go to Krampus, Santa's brother. At that moment, Cal tells Jack that Dylan, his son, is an obedient and polite child. Of course, Cal knows this because they have a list indicating good and naughty children. Jack responds by saying he distances himself from his son because he feels like he is not a good father and that his ex-wife married a man much better than him, which he believes is better for Dylan. Cal tells him that what he is doing is wrong and that staying away from his son will harm him, not help him. Afterward, they arrive at the location of Krampus's castle. There, Jack asks Cal about the story of Santa and Krampus. Cal explains that Santa and Krampus used to work together, but suddenly Krampus decided to create a list of naughty children to punish them. This upset Santa greatly, and he took the list from him. At that time, Krampus left Santa and allied with Gryla, who also made a list of naughty children. However, they separated after many conflicts. Cal and Jack get out of the car, and Cal warns Jack not to touch anything, no matter what, as they don't want to attract attention. They reach the gate, and Cal uses a magical device in his hand, which grants him additional power, to open the gate. They both enter through the gate and are transported to a dark and frightening world. Cal sees hellhounds guarding Krampus's castle. He pulls a toy chicken from his pocket and turns it into a real chicken to distract the dogs and make them chase it. Cal and Jack then move toward the castle door, but Jack notices a chest filled with gold coins. He looks around to ensure no one is watching and steals a coin from the chest. Suddenly, the statues in the place emit terrifying sounds, and a group of monsters appears, surrounding Cal and Jack. Cal tells them they are not thieves and are there to meet Krampus, but he is shocked when one of the monsters pulls the gold coin from Jack's pocket. The monsters then take Cal and Jack and imprison them. In the cell, Cal blames Jack for what he did, reminding him that he warned him not to touch anything. Jack tries to justify his actions, saying he is in a lot of debt. Cal scolds him and explains that having his name on the naughty list is no coincidence, telling him he brought these problems upon himself. He shares Santa's advice that every decision, big or small, is an opportunity for a person to improve. He urges Jack to try to change for the better. Later, the monsters take them to Krampus, who is hosting a party and playing a slapping game. Krampus and the monster facing him play, but the monster is unaffected by Krampus's slaps. When Krampus hits him, the monster flies far and crashes into the wall. Krampus notices Cal and Jack and asks Cal to come closer. But before that, one of his monsters takes the magical device from Cal's hand. Krampus is then informed that Gryla has kidnapped Santa and is asked if he is involved in her actions. Krampus denies having dealt with Gryla for a long time and reveals that she is using an enchanted orb he once gave her as a gift. He explains that anyone naughty who touches the orb will be trapped inside it forever. Cal thanks him for the information and wants to leave to search for Santa, but Krampus refuses and declares that Cal will remain imprisoned forever. Krampus tells Jack he is allowed to leave to deliver the information to Cal's friends and save Santa. Using his wit, Jack tells Krampus that Cal claimed he could easily defeat him in his game. He proposes that if Cal wins, they will be allowed to leave, but if Cal loses, he will remain imprisoned forever. Krampus agrees. Cal, feeling nervous because he knows Krampus is much stronger, gathers all his strength and hits Krampus on the face, but it barely makes him turn his head. When it's Krampus's turn, he delivers a powerful blow that knocks Cal to the ground. Cal gets up to try again, and at that moment Jack quickly steals the magical device from the monster and attaches it to his hand. Cal then lands a strong hit that knocks Krampus down. He throws toy robots on the ground, enlarging them to fight the monsters. Cal and Jack manage to escape the castle. Once outside, Cal is pleased with what Jack did and thanks him for his help. As they drive back, they are surprised to find a piano in the middle of the road. They get out of the car and discover that the piano has a lid with Jack's name written on it. When Cal opens it, he finds the enchanted orb inside. He quickly moves Jack away from it to prevent him from being trapped inside. At that moment, Dylan calls Jack, asking him not to send him bad gifts anymore. Jack is confused by Dylan's words until Dylan shows him the enchanted orb, thinking Jack sent it to him. Jack panics and tells Dylan to drop the orb immediately, but Dylan gets trapped inside it and disappears. Fearing for his son, Jack grabs the enchanted orb on the piano and tells Cal he must go after his son, asking him to save them. Jack then disappears and finds himself trapped inside the orb, with his son Dylan trapped in the orb next to him. When Grilla sees them, she is thrilled that her experiment worked and declares them the first two naughty individuals to be punished in this way. She orders her men to create billions of enchanted orbs. Meanwhile, Cal contacts Zoe and explains what happened. They speculate about where Santa might be imprisoned. While talking, Santa's wife calls Cal to check on him and find out where he is. He tells her he is still searching for Santa and assures her he will find him soon. After ending the call, Cal tells Zoe that the mythical world has fallen under Gryla's control and that Santa is likely hidden there. He also reveals that the woman he just spoke to is not Santa's wife and suspects someone is impersonating her to discover their progress. Cal and Zoe decide to head to the mythical world to rescue Santa and those with him. Back in the orb, Jack talks to his son, admitting that he was trapped inside because he is a lousy father, a naughty person, and someone who makes many mistakes. Dylan asks if he was trapped because he hacked into the school's database. Jack confirms this and tells Dylan he needs to change and not repeat the same mistake. And they believe that he will also change for the better and become a good father. At that moment, the enchanted ball breaks, and they come out of it. They admit their mistakes and decide not to repeat them. At that time, Cal and Zoe arrives at the place, and it becomes clear that Cal suspects Jack isn't real. However, when he talks to him, he confirms that he is indeed Jack. After that, Jack introduces Dylan to Cal and Zoe, and Cal tells Dylan that her father said many good things about her. Then, Jack informs them that Grilla has made billions of enchanted balls and says that she claimed she would distribute them herself to naughty children to get rid of them. So, they all rush quickly to stop her and save Santa. As they are leaving, they hear a voice inside a room. When they open the door, they find Garcia and all of Santa's men, and they free them all. At that moment, Grilla prepares to start her journey, but Cal and his team arrive at the place and engage in a fierce battle with Grilla's men. However, Grilla moves with the sleigh, which has Santa and all the enchanted balls on it. Cal and Jack chase after her at full speed until they manage to climb onto the sleigh, but Grilla grabs them and throws them away. Jack falls onto the reindeer and manages to hold onto the chain they are tied with. He then decides to detach the reindeer from the sleigh. He successfully does so, and the reindeer fly into the sky. The sleigh crashes onto the ground, and Grilla loses her balance and falls off the sleigh. At that moment, Cal runs to Santa and frees him from the capsule he is trapped in. He keeps trying to revive him until Santa regains consciousness. Suddenly, Grilla appears in her true form, looking terrifying and enormous. But before she attacks them, Krampus arrives and shoots fireballs at her. He then stands in front of her and asks her to back down from what she intends to do, telling her that Santa will always be his brother no matter what problems arise between them. Grilla attacks him and strikes him forcefully. At that moment, Santa gathers his strength and calls for the reindeer, who arrive quickly. They attack Grilla and strike her, causing her to fall among the enchanted balls, trapping her inside one of them forever. Afterward, Santa thanks Krampus for his help, and Krampus urges him to move quickly to deliver the Christmas gifts. Santa gets ready, puts on his red suit, and begins preparing to distribute the gifts. He thanks Jack and Dylan for their help and invites them to join him on his journey. Santa sets off with the sleigh, traveling around the globe and delivering gifts to children everywhere. Jack and Dylan watch everything in awe. When morning comes, Santa has completed his mission successfully. At that moment, Cal tells him that he has withdrawn his resignation and that he will continue working with him. Santa asks if he will bring someone to help him. Cal looks at Jackie, who is very happy with everything that's happening, and says he agrees to be his assistant. Then, they all stand beside Santa as he sets off with the sleigh to return to the mythical world. The movie ends. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification button so you never miss an updates. See you in the next video.